Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Lonnie, back with another vlog. I know it's been a very long time since I have came on here and just taken a chit chat with you guys. So first I want to apologize to my subscribers. I've been collecting you guys everywhere and be like, oh yeah, I'm uploading a video, yada yada, and not uploading anything. So I apologize for you guys for making you guys wait so long. But that is one thing, well, the main thing that I want to discuss in this video is where have I been the past year? What's been going on in my life? How did we get here? Why are you in your car, Lonnie? I'm not homeless, and I just didn't feel like being inside today. We have a, what's that thing called? A security alarm system, and the battery's going dead, so it's beeping, so I just came out here. But anyway, here's the scoop. A lot's been going on with me, as well as a lot of people in the collective. And when I say collective, I mean, like, I don't want to say matrix anymore. So on my channel, we do just like a regular relatable black girl vlog, but I do lean more into spirituality and consciousness and the fifth dimension and all that good type of new age spirituality. I like that. I like learning about it. Sometimes we need a little bit of science to back it up, and I always research that and I bring that back to you guys. But today I just want to talk about, I don't even remember what my last video was. Well, that last video I made about astral projecting, that was here, but that didn't really have any kind of sustenance to it, any type of personality to it. So I'm trying to think here, because I haven't made a video in so long. Because my followers, my subscribers, the place I was most consistent, you guys remember I had the fuzzy robe, I had my hair tied up all the time, come on here with my glasses on. I was actually at this house that I'm at. This is my grandma's house that I'm at now. And I was really consistent with YouTube. I loved it there. And then it was March of 2022. We're currently in August of 2023. So a little over a year ago, I moved out of my grandmother's house and I moved back to the place where I graduated college from, which is about an hour and a half away in the Myrtle Beach area. So before that, there's always been this ancestral connection with me. But before I moved back, I never fed my ancestors. I never brought anything to the altar. I would leave them things, like leave them a little bit of tobacco. I would leave them things. I would never leave them food. So I think in February it was a full moon in February. And I remember something was telling me, and some things, a lot of things, most things, almost all things that come to me, they come to me as a message from somebody who's not here anymore, and they're telling me that I need to do this. So it became something that became a pull. And so I've been feeling the pull, but I didn't want to do it. But I just kept feeling the pull, and the pull wasn't going to go away. So I ended up feeding my ancestors, and I was like, if I'm meant to go back to that city, then take me back to that city. And lo and behold, less than a month later, I was back in that city. I was working a full-time job, making money, but I still didn't really have a consistent place to live. I was living with a friend from college, and when I moved down there, I was only supposed to be in her house for like 2 weeks. So it ended up being like 2 months. But before I came down there, before I even thought about moving down there, she was the one who gave me the idea. She was like, oh, okay, I work in the hotel. There's this position. I didn't work at the same hotel as her, but I did the job that she was talking about, just in a different resort. She was talking about a marketing rep position, and it's like basically when you market people, so you pitch them to come and sit for the timeshare tours, and you get paid for that. And I did make good money doing it, because you have to have a sales personality. You have to be able to sell things, and I had that personality. But either way, the point of me telling you guys that was, it was her recommendation that got me down there. And she told me, okay, well, you can stay with me until you find somewhere to live. And in the city, there's, like everywhere else, there is a housing crisis. So it took longer, but even then, 2 months is not really a long time, because I get it done, honey. It was as fast as possible is what I was aiming for, and that's what happened. But it was like towards the end of my stay, it was like stuff just started to get weird. Without saying anything negative about her, she made me feel like I was a burden, even though I wouldn't have been down here if you hadn't offered me to come down here. And it wasn't like we're just distant friends, like we were close friends. And honestly, the only thing that bothers me is I would have never did the same way she did me. I would have never did to her, because as we were trying to find me a place to live, she would tell me, don't even look at this place because they're full already. I already called, as if trying to pretend to be me. But then I actually ended up in one of those apartments, and I made a video on one of those apartments, the ones that she told me not to call. So it kind of made me feel like she was trying to keep me there just to say that she was helping me, but at the same time being annoyed that I was there. It was just a little weird. But y'all, one thing about me, I believe in prayer and I believe in the divine connection that I have with God. So God got me up out there as soon as possible. So that was first. And then that video, another video, when Peanut was laying on the bed, that was in that apartment that I moved in, and I was only in there for about 3 months, so it was just a sublease. So 3 months I stayed in there. Then I moved into another apartment where I signed a full lease. Now this is where the story gets interesting, and during these times I wanted to come make content for you guys, but my life was just so draining. Like that job that I was working at, even though yes I was making a lot of money, it was just draining, like having to and then sometimes, like, pretty privilege it's only a privilege in certain cases. Like at this job, it worked in my favor, but then sometimes I couldn't sign up single men, so single men can't be signed. So it would attract men in there, like if they're cohabitating with a woman, I could get them in there. But it just, as far as like the fact of like me, I would be harassed by certain people. They would want to come just sit and talk to me and not actually sign up for anything. But in this, I'm not going to say I didn't benefit from it, because I did benefit from it, but I was being drained. Like I had to get up and get dressed every morning and look like somebody. I had to come and like talk to them. I had to explain why they should buy from me or why they should sign up for me. So I was just drained. So on top of that, the whole thing was draining. I had the sublease. So the sublease is only for 3 months. So I had better find somewhere to move into in that 3 months, or else I was going back home, because I wasn't moving back in with my friend. So I ended up finding another place. It was called The Pier. The Pier was an awful experience. This was also another sublease, but the girl moved out immediately for obvious reasons. The girl who I moved in with, the girl who I subleased from, so the roommate who the other girl had moved out, she has 2 fucking huge fucking untrained ass dogs, and I have a Peanut. If you guys follow me on social media, you know I have Peanut. Peanut is small, Peanut is nice, Peanut is kind. So, and then she had 2 of these huge dogs. So that was just, and she said she was struggling with depression, but bitch, aren't we all? The bitch never washed dishes. Her dogs weren't trained as in their behavior, as well as they did not urinate outside. Sometimes they would take shits in the living room, and it was a 2-bedroom apartment. Like, it was just too small. It was too small for them big ass. It was too small for all of us. It was too small for me, her, Peanut, and her 2 dogs. It was too small. It was too small for all of us. So I had to get out of there because, well, one, other than that, the dogs, they attacked Peanut a couple of times. Well, I don't know, and then I don't know why. I don't know what the issue was. Peanut has never attacked anybody, but these big dogs, I remember I watched the girl's dog literally step on my dog's ribcage, and her dog's probably like 35, 40 pounds. Mine is about 15 pounds. She probably comes up to half up my shin, and her dog came up to my hip. So I ended up having to, so I left that other job that was draining me, and I was working another job, a call center job. That shit gave me nightmares. Will never do it again. I do not like having that thing on my head. I don't like having that ringing in my ear. So I ended up quitting my job. Now, rent was already hella expensive, so I was paying close to $1,000 a month. I could not figure out how I was going to make this $1,000 a month without a job. So I'm trying to like work on my online business. But my mind wasn't, none of this stuff was working for me because I was so drained. So I didn't have the money. I just stayed home because, one, the dog could open my damn door. Like, the dog could take her mouth and open my door and get in my room. And not only did she have 2 dogs, she also had a mean-ass cat. The cat liked to be in my room, so when I tried to get the fucking cat out of my room, the cat would hiss at me and try to scratch at me. It was just too much. And so when I suggested it, well, one day, what happened was, and I planned on staying there, but what happened was the dog actually attacked me twice in one day. Once as I left, because it was trying to get to Peanut. So I'm holding Peanut, so the dog attacks me trying to get to Peanut. So, okay, she attacks me on the way out. I come back. She attacks me on the way in. The leasing office is trying to make this my fault. They didn't want to give me a new apartment. No, yada, yada, yada. They couldn't find my phone number. But, of course, my rent wasn't paid. I'm not paying rent to live here somewhere where I'm being attacked. I didn't have a job. I didn't have the money to pay the rent anyway. So So of course when they called to quote unquote evict me, they have the phone number. So you guys couldn't find my number to move me into a new apartment, but to evict me you could. I didn't end up getting evicted. I ended up just moving out and breaking the lease. So whatever. I mean, but that was something that had to be done. But that was in December when I ended up breaking that lease. So I came back to my grandmother's house where I didn't have to pay rent, don't have to worry about anything. I have my garden, I have my mom, I have my dog. We have all our country lifestyle. I'm living on the homestead, as I call it. I can make home cooked meals. I felt like I was going to be in a place where I would be more able to create content and stuff like that, because that's where I felt like I was most able to flourish and create content, was when I was here, and you don't have to worry about paying rent or like working a job that you fucking hate. So I was here, and just to make my mom not bother me, I decided to go apply for a job. So I applied for this job at this gym. I applied for front desk staff, making $9 an hour. Something I didn't need a lot of money. I ended up getting promoted in 2 weeks to general manager, and I was really dedicated to this place, man. I mean, like, I'll give you guys a complete story time later, but completely dedicated to this place. I completely changed the physique of my body. I changed the way that I looked at working out. I changed the way I worked out completely, and I was just really dedicated to the job. I ended up getting fired for it, which I will give you guys a story time. I ended up getting fired. So that's really that just happened a month ago. So I only worked there like 6 months. I'm not going to use the R word, because I feel like calling white people racist in this day and age is a very dangerous game, but I will say that these people were prejudiced. So not only that, but I've just been feeling the extreme weight of the world. That's the best way I could put it. I'm feeling the weight of the world on my shoulders, but it's not something that I feel like I'm experiencing alone. Oh, I forgot to mention, you guys, don't think harshly of me, but I did forget to mention, while I was working at this job, I was working full-time as a manager. I started in January. My father ended up passing away in March, and that's something that I'm still trying to deal with. I'm still trying to mend the relationship between us, even though he's gone and passed on to the other side. But it hurts my heart to know that I was so dedicated to this job, even though I was in the same city as my father, and I was so dedicated to this job that I spent more time at that job than with my father. So that has really been weighing on me, but there's nothing I can do about it now, you know, like it's done and over with. And I really hate when people are like, oh wow, you look so put together for it. Like, I've just never been the type of person to become a victim of my circumstances, because at the end of the day, life happens to everybody. Life happens to all of us. And life just started happening to me between March of 2022 and now. Life just started happening to me. So I know, like, when you ask the universe for more, which is what I did in February of 2022, I was like, universe, I'm ready for more. And the universe starts to test you. It's just like a game. It's like, are you truly ready? Because the things that I've went through, the things that have happened to me, and stuff that I'm not even talking about on camera, that maybe I will feel more comfortable to talk about, like relationships with people who I was very close to and things that they did to me, things that I went to on top of losing my father, losing my job, having to leave my apartment and leave the city that I was in, that I feel like I thrive in more, and having to come back here. These kind of things, give these battles to the wrong person and they'll crumble. But giving these battles to me, they didn't cause me to crumble. But the after effects, I went to the doctor the beginning of this month. So I went in the beginning of August. I went to the doctor. He diagnosed me with depression, and I mean, this was just a straight up, he asked me a few questions, I answered the questions, and he told me that I might be facing depression. And he immediately prescribes me Lexapro. And also, I've been suffering from migraines. Now, I've always had migraines, and August is always the worst month. Ever since I was a little kid and I used to go to the YMCA summer camp, I could just remember, like, when it's time for school to come back around, I would start having headaches, and I would start having them more often. And I've always been able to stop the headaches with just a straight up Tylenol or a migraine or an Excedrin migraine. But when I was working at this gym that I got hired at and I got promoted to manager at, the painkillers stopped working. So I went to go get checked out for that. My blood pressure has been running really low, but I mean, other than that, I'm healthy. I think that blood pressure is just running low because I hadn't eaten that morning. My blood pressure always falls a little bit lower than higher, which I'm actually really grateful for, because high blood pressure does run in my family. Mine has always ran pretty low, but having it be too low is not a good thing. So I got checked out for all of that stuff, but overall I'm healthy. So I have an appointment to see a therapist. But I mean, I'm literally just maintaining. Like, that's all I'm doing. I'm just maintaining. And it's just like, people are so enamored with like, oh my God, you've been through so much and you're still standing. Like, please stop giving me flowers for surviving in a situation that I didn't have an option but to survive in. Like, unless I wanted to be gone, I had no option. So that's just what I've been dealing with, just a little bit of it. I hope I haven't been rambling too much. I mean, it feels really cathartic to just come in front of the camera and just let it all out. But I wanted to update my subscribers on everything that I've been going through. I do want to say that I don't want to make any promises, but I do regret going through some of this stuff, like in the real time, in the moment. I feel like I'd be able to tell a better story than what I am after the fact. But I think I'm maturing so much. I think a lot of things in life, you have to let them settle first before you go and you discuss them with people. And I think that makes a better story when I let things digest, and then I come and I'm able to express myself more clearly, and I'm able to get my thoughts out together, or get my thoughts out, what's that word? Cohesively. So, I mean, there were some other things that I wanted to talk about in this video that I can't even think about now. I feel like I have more to talk about. So I might just bulk up some videos, but that's where I have been at for the past few weeks. I mean, I don't really have a point of this video. I'm probably going to make another video because this one's running on 20 minutes long. So I'm probably going to make another video with an actual like message behind all of this. But this is just an update for my followers, for you guys wondering where I've been, what's happened to me. I've just been going through a lot. And so I'm now currently in the healing phase of trying to get through everything that has happened to me, these circumstances that I have no control over. And I feel like as humans, that's kind of your point of being here in life. Like, you have to go through things that you feel like you're not going to be able to get through, and then once you get through it, it's always clearer on the other side. But I think I'm going to leave this video at that. I might make another one. I might go in the house and make another one. But that's what's been going on with me, you guys. Once again, I apologize for not being able to come to you guys as a content creator and explain to you stuff that was happening in my life. But I'm hoping now that going through therapy and being able to realize my triggers and stuff like that, being able to rid of everything that was draining me, I'm praying that I'm able to better absorb and release it back into the world and let God use me as a vessel. But all right, guys, I'll see you later.